Okay, guys, this is Earl Dixon from the United States of America, and today I am here with Stuart Nutrianda, and I'm happy about being here. You know, this journey that we started did not start just yesterday. This journey started quite some time ago. Um, actually, it started about 3 years ago. Stuart and myself, we started a journey of educating people about what we call the digital divide. And when we were talking to them about the digital divide, um, we talked about new money and old money. And for many months, we were on What's Out, teaching, training, discussing old money, new money. We even began to talk about how people used to use seashells as a medium of exchange. And as we began to have those discussions, do you remember that? Do you remember that, Coach Stewart?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. And we began to talk about an industrialized revolution and how we were moving from an industrialized revolution to today, to where we are today. Um, Him and I began the discussion, bringing people, inviting people from all over to participate in just the West Out chat. And we talked about being able to enter into the digital revolution, not knowing that it would grow exponentially and faster than we ever believed. We were talking about old money, new money, cryptocurrency. We were blessed with Four Corners Alliance Group, and they had introduced us to Bitcoin,
true. Yep.
which basically gave us a new insight into new money. So, guys, then as we began to continue to educate and to teach people in our crowd, Stuart did a tour and he was moving all around Africa, giving workshops and trainings on what will be happening in the digital arena, okay, in the digital revolution with new money. And as we went our separate ways, we continued to connect with each other. But I went out and I started focusing on crowdfunding, and I became a crowdfunding consultant. And what I was studying was systems. And I'm gonna share the screen for 1 second if I can. Um, and I'll give the share back over to you. All right. So I'm gonna share something with you that I think is so important that we must understand. And then now I want you guys to see this photograph. All right. I want you to really take a look at this photograph. Now, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay, so as we began to study crowdfunding, I began to look at how the one percenters around the world had literally created systems that would tap into our hourly, our daily, our weekly, our monthly, and our annual income. The one percenters around the world that controls the money, the ones who controls the government, the ones who controls the presidents of each nation, the ones who controls the school and also the universities. They had systems put in place that would actually tap into our everyday pockets, taking the money out. We work, we gather the money, and at the end of the month, we were literally giving the money back to the wealthy. So I want you to take a look at this diagram. I want you to look at the diagram. Now I want to go over, if you look on the left side of the scale, you can see that every day we live our homes, our children, our loved ones, and we send our children to what I call institutions of lower financial learning because they have literally taken the financial education module, financial literacy module out of the school systems. They don't teach us about money and how to leverage money in school. So as we send our babies out to the schools, into the controlled systems by the 1%, We then go in pursuit of money like hunters, hunting a meal to bring home to our families. And as we go out and we accumulate the money, we find ourselves taking the money. We pay our rent. We got cell phone bills. In America, we got alarm system services, health insurance, internet. You guys call it bundles in Africa. We got cable TV, light bill, water bill, gas for the home, grocery bills, gas for the car, credit card, and taxes. So every bill that we pay is an income stream for our bill collectors. I want to repeat that because I want you to understand this. Every bill we pay is an income stream for our bill collectors. So the reason that we're gathered here today is to simply ask you a question. Aren't you tired? Aren't you sick and tired of working just to pay your bills? Look at the bottom. Look at the bill collector at the very bottom. He's happy. He's very happy because all of the money that we accumulate during the month, at the end of the month, all of the money is going to the bill collectors. So now look on the other side of the scale. On the other side of the scale, it's very uneven. How is it possible for one person to work one job with one income stream, one source of income coming in, with an outgoing source with 13 to 14, 15 different outgoing income streams? I don't know how we've done it for so long, working, gathering the money, and paying it out. So if you go to work today and you live in a home, you're working for your mortgage company. If you own a cell phone and you get paid this week, you're working for your cell phone company. If you have internet, you're working to pay your internet. If you have lights in your house, you're working to pay your light bill company, your water bill company. So guys, it goes on and on and on. So now we're going to introduce to you today the equalizer. The equalizer. The equalizer is a program that we call Million Money. Million Money is a program that operates as a smart contract program that operates in a decentralized space that will allow us to come together in our crowd, in our community, and bring the money back. 100% of the money will come back to our crowd. Now I want to give you one example that's dear to my heart, just with this cell phone. Just with a cell phone. I want to show you the flow of the money out of our community into the hands of the corporates and the wealthy 1%. I'm going to use one example, and then I'm going to move forward with the webinar. With cell phones alone, Google say that there's 325 million people in America. And when you ask Google how many Americans have a cell phone, Google says that 95% of Americans have a cell phone. So if you multiply 0.95 times 325 million, it'll give you 308,750,000 Americans that have a cell phone. And we haphazardly take these phones for granted, but it's money behind these phones. So let's take the example. Every day, many people are paying their cell phone bills. And I want to show you the flow of the money outside of our community. If you divide 308,750,000 by 30 days, which is the number of days in every month, it will give you the average number of people that's going to pay a cell phone bill every single day in America. So if you divide 308,750,000 by 30, it gives you 10,291,666 people today that's going to pay a cell phone bill today. Never knew that so many people was working just to pay their cell phone bills. Now, when you multiply, I asked Google, what is the average cell phone bill in America? Google says that the average cell phone bill in America is $58. So when you multiply $58 times 10,291,666 people a day, it gives you $596 million a day. I repeat, it gives you $596 million a day going outside of our communities into the hands of the wealthy cell phone companies. That's just for one day. And I want to remind you that money does not move without people. We're moving 596 million a day, and it's 30 days in a month. So when we multiply 30 days times 596 million, which means today in America, 596 million is going to be moved outside of the hands of the people. The money's going outside of the hands of the people. And you multiply that times 30 days. That's literally $17.9 billion a month. And that's just with cell phones. So today, we introduce you a solution that's going to even the playing field. Our goal is to be able to even the playing field so that we can bring the money back to the hands of the people. So if you look to the right side, what you'll find is one income, and Million Money is going to provide us multiple income things. 12 different levels, 10 different levels of income in one program that you can literally get the 10 different income streams in the palm of your hand. Now I want to play a video for you, and then I'm going to turn the presentation over to Stuart. Let me play this little short video because the power is in our crowd. Money is moving out of our communities at a rapid pace, and we are in control of the money that's moving out of our hands. So in this video that I'm going to share with you, it's going to show you a video about crowdfunding to begin the journey of bringing the money back to the hands of people. So let me see if I can bring up the video. Bear with me for just a second. And I'll have that ready for you. All right. I'm going to go to the video. It's going to be a short video. It's going to explain the concept of crowdfunding. Here. All right, here we go.
Meet Bill, Stephen Warren, an entrepreneur, a startup, and a small businessman. They all have practical money-making and job-creating ideas to create new businesses and help make a better community. But they need money or a loan to fund and build their ideas. How can they raise the money to create this business, and what is the roadmap? The most common method is to get a loan from a bank, but banks consider startup entrepreneurial ventures too risky, especially now with the economic downturn and today's restrictive lending policies. Then the answer is usually a big no. Clearly, this way there is very little new business development, innovation, or growth. Just think of business and the world without the Bills, Steves, and the Warrens. Currently, an entrepreneur needs a business plan and a loan application, then a drive to the bank to meet with the loan officers in the hope of getting a loan. But not anymore. Through the internet, using cloud and social media environments, the entrepreneur can access hundreds or thousands of potential investors through crowdfunding websites. There are several ways to seek crowdfunding. The first is the donation method of crowdfunding. This model has been around for years. People can donate money in small increments to a project which they believe has moral and ethical value and that is good for the community. Examples of this are asking for donations on Facebook causes or GoFundMe. The second is the pre-order method of crowdfunding. Here people make online pledges during a campaign to pre-buy the product for later delivery. A good example of this is Kickstarter. The third is the reward-based method of crowdfunding. This is a variation on the two previous types, where investors get the satisfaction of helping and immediately get a predetermined reward or item of value, no equity or ownership. A good example of this is the OGO. And finally, the fourth is equity-based crowdfunding. This is the newest model, which will allow large numbers of regular people like you and me to invest small amounts each online to fund early startups, with the expectation to receive dividends or investment appreciation based on profits of the business. So now we can see that crowdfunding is using the crowd to raise capital by connecting people with talent, ideas, and some neat stuff to sell with those that have the funds to invest their way, thus creating jobs, new business opportunities, and fueling the economy. Crowdfunding revenue is projected to top $2.8 billion in 2012 and more than $16.6 billion in 2014. The speed of growth of crowdfunding from 2009 to 2014 is very similar to the growth pattern of the internet in the early 1990s. This raises the big question. Do you want to just watch crowdfunding happen and grow, or do you want to be a part of it? How about leveraging the 2.5 billion internet users who can be potential investors with a projected $300 billion of investment revenue opportunity? Do you know the size and potential of your social capital? Discover how to capitalize on your network and learn to start your successful crowdfunding campaign now.
So guys, you were just asked, do you know the size and potential of your social capital? As you can see, crowdfunding is on target by 2020 be $300 billion by 2020, by 2025. And the question was, how much of crowdfunding would you like to have? Well, today, we're here to introduce you to a concept called Million Money that will literally allow you to be able to monetize your crowd, share the program with your crowd, and be able to bring the money back to our community. I got one more example to show you. We're going to turn it over to Stuart. Yeah. I want to show you something about our crowd. We have a website, a team website. And on that team website, it's getyourethereum.today. I'm going to share it with you. Hold on one second. I want to show you the power of our crowd. And that's why we're here today, is to expose to you that money does not move without people. And whenever we bring the people together in our crowd, we can move a lot of money. We're going to our study website, Crowdfunding 101. That info. Let me see if I can get there. All right. Crowdfunding. Info. It's time out for us working, making the money to simply pay our bills. Now that we know about crowdfunding and the ability to redirect the money back to our hands, we'll come up with a system that will allow us to do just that. Now I'm going to screen share, and I'm going to show you some examples of people who understand the power of crowdfunding. It's been said that we are going to enter into a global recession very soon because of the Federal Reserve printing money in order to continue to try to give fiat currency power. We know that every time the Federal Reserve prints money, that the dollar loses value. As I'm coming down, Barack Obama signed into law a bill called the Jobs Act. And in that bill, he says that he's for 80 years, which is 8 decades, people have been denied funding to be able to live their dreams and to be able to create the lifestyle that they desire. So he created the Jobs Act to make crowdfunding legal. And in the video, he said there will be innovative companies like Facebook, like Amazon, like Airbnb, that will come up with creative ideas in the crowdfunding industry that will revolutionize the crowdfunding industry. And truly, let me play this video.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Please have a seat. Good afternoon. I want to thank all of you for coming, and in particular, I want to thank the members of Congress who are here today from both parties, whose leadership and hard work made this bill a reality. You know, one of the great things about America is that we are a nation of doers. Not just talkers, but doers. We think big, we take risks, and we believe that anyone with a solid plan and a willingness to work hard can turn even the most improbable idea into a successful business. So ours is a legacy of Edisons and Graham Bells, Fords and Boeings, of Googles and of Twitters. This is a country that's always been on the cutting edge. And the reason is that America has always had the most daring entrepreneurs in the world. Some of them are standing with me today. When their ideas take root, we get inventions that can change the way we live. And when their businesses take off, more people become employed, because overall new businesses account for almost every new job that's created in America. Now, because we're still recovering from one of the worst recessions in our history, the last few years have been pretty tough on entrepreneurs. Credit's been tight, and no matter how good their ideas are, if an entrepreneur can get a loan from a bank or banking from investors, it's almost impossible to get their businesses off the ground. And that's why back in September, and again in my State of the Union, I called on Congress to remove a number of barriers that were preventing aspiring entrepreneurs from getting funding. And this is one useful and important step along that journey. Here's what's going to happen because of this bill. For business owners who want to take their companies to the next level, this bill will make it easier for you to go public. And that's a big deal, because going public is a major step towards expanding and hiring more workers. It's a big deal for investors as well, because public companies operate with greater oversight and greater transparency. And for startups and small businesses, this bill is a potential game changer. Right now, you can only turn to a limited group of investors, including banks and wealthy individuals, to get funding. Laws that are nearly 8 decades old make it impossible for others to invest. But a lot's changed in 80 years, and it's time our laws did as well. Because of this bill, startups and small business will now have access to a big new pool of potential investors, namely the American people. For the first time, ordinary Americans will be able to go online and invest in entrepreneurs that they believe in. Of course, to make sure Americans don't get taken advantage of, the websites where folks will go to fund all these startups and small businesses will be subject to rigorous oversight. The SEC is going to play an important role in implementing this bill. And I've directed my administration to keep a close eye as this law goes into effect and to provide me with regular updates. It also means that to all the members of Congress who are here today, I want to say publicly, before I sign this bill, it's going to be important that we continue to make sure that the SEC is properly funded, just like all our other regulatory agencies, so that they can do the job and make sure that our investors get adequate protections. This bill represents exactly the kind of bipartisan action we should be taking in Washington to help our economy. I've always said that the true engine of job creation in this country is the private sector, not the government. Our job is to help our companies grow and hire. That's why I pushed for this bill. That's why I know that the bipartisan group of legislators here pushed for this bill. That's why I've cut taxes for small businesses over 17 times. That's why every day I'm fighting to make sure America is the best place on earth to do business. Our economy has begun to turn a corner, but we've still got a long way to go. We've still got a lot of Americans out there who are looking for a job, or looking for a job that pays better than the one that they've got. And we're going to have to keep working together so that we can keep moving the economy forward. But I've never been more confident about our future, and the reason is because of the American people. Some of the folks here today, day out after day, they're out there pitching investors. Some meetings go well, some meetings don't go so well. That's true for me too. But no matter what, they keep at it. And who knows, maybe one of them or one of the folks in the audience here today will be the next Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg, and one of them may be the next entrepreneur to turn a big idea into an entire new industry. That's the promise of.
That's what I want to stop at right there. That one person could come up with a big idea that will be able to move the money back into the hands of the people, like Mark Zuckerberg, like Steve Jobs, like Bill Gates. So guys, that program is now here, and it's called Million Money. And it gives us the ability to bring the money back to our crowd. Now I'm gonna give you this last example, and I'm gonna turn it over to Stuart. Here's an example of a crowd. Here's an example of a gentleman who understood that Donald Trump wanted to build a wall. So he went out to his crowd and he started a crowdfunding campaign, and he raised $20 million in just 25 days because he understood the power of his crowd. The question is, do you understand the power of your crowd? Here's another example. Former Mozilla CEO, using crowdfunding, because he understood the power of his crowd, he raised $35 million in under 30 seconds for his web browser, which is a blockchain web browser, because he understood the power of his crowd. Here's another example. People around the world, especially Black people, they've supported a movie. The moviegoers, the movie producers understood the power of the Black crowd. And because they understood the power of the crowd, they created a movie. And within 26 days, they had raised $1 billion because of the power of the crowd. Now, of $1 billion that was raised, not knowing, the people went to the movie and they put the money in the hands of Marvel Studios. Of the $1 billion, you can literally say there were 10 stars in the movie. The average star received 2 million. So if it's 10 stars, that's 20 million. That means that $980 million went back to the hands of the movie producers. Today, we're here to introduce to you a decentralized smart contract program that will allow us to bring the money, move the money outside of a centralized system into a decentralized system that is controlled by the people. In closing, before I turn it over to Stuart, I want to just raise your awareness. Money don't move without people. Corporate entities, banks is using fractional reserve banking. And every time you put $100 in the bank makes $3,333 off of your money. Today we're here to raise your awareness, to bring you to our crowd with a strategy that has been studied by our best, where we can bring 100% of the money of this crowd back to our community. Mr. Stuart Nutriana, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you introduce the strategy that could free our people. And guys, I would like to tell you, as we begin to collect this money, we got several modules that I've been studying over the years. Our goal is to teach you, let me turn this off. Our goal is to teach you to gather the money And once you gather the money, we'll teach you how to make the money work for you through the different models. So today we introduce to you Mr. Stuart Lutriana. Stuart, it's on you now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Al Dixon. I want to thank you for teaching us over and over again. There are very people who do not understand where we've come from, but I want to thank you all for attending today. We've had a great time over the last 6 years learning and teaching people together with Mr. Al Dixon. And that's why I'm here today, because I believe in what he's doing for us and for the world. And I believe that I should add my effort wherever possible. So everybody who has come today, I want you to know that you're coming at the right time. A lot of things are changing in our world. I was very grateful that we could share in the message of President Barack Obama when they were putting together the bill and signing it into law for crowdfunding. Guys, crowdfunding is a legal way of raising funds. We have seen the examples, we've seen how much money people are raising. And so here today, I want to show you how you can raise a quick $360,000 every 100 days. Now, that's a lot of money, especially for people like me in Africa, because that translates to over 1.5 billion shillings. And so if somebody says you're going to make 1.4 billion shillings every 100 days, becomes a crazy idea. Most people will not buy into it because they're used to poverty. But you have seen guys raising 20 million. You have seen guys raising, I saw the other amount where somebody raised it in 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds. The CEO of Brave, Brave is a browser. Guys, you can raise a lot of money in crowdfunding. What is necessary is for people to understand if the system works, if it is real. And what I found out about Million Money, which is the smart contracts program we're going to use for this project, it is self-automated, it's on the blockchain. I am a blockchain believer, and I really believe that this will change lots of lives. I want to quickly go through it. In the next 10 minutes, I could be done, but it is very important to realize that this strategy we're going to teach you is special. It's different from what you've known. It's different from what some people are doing or they may want to do. This is strictly a team build, and it is international. We have members across the globe that are going to be part of this. I've been looking through the list. I've been invited to participate as well. I'm very busy, but you know, I also have a dream. There's something I want to do that I didn't have funding for yet. You know, I have retired to the village, so I want to set up a school in the village. So what's going on is that if really I can also make this money from crowdfunding, which will not need me a lot of effort, but being part of this team build, I should be part of it. So we're going to have a lot of dreams come true. What do you need funding for? Is it a business? You have seen in the law, the President Barack Obama explained that the funds could be used for startup business. It could be for something you want to do. It could even be your own dream. You want to build a house, or you want to buy a car, you want to pay school fees. Anything you want to do, you can raise funds for it, and it is a legally accepted way internationally. So what do you want to do? I think that will be very important as we get started into this project. If you have small dreams, you may not love what we're going to show you today. But if you have something worth $1 million, I think you should now pay attention even more than any other person, because if we do this well, people are going to make this money over and over again, over and over again. So $300,000 we're talking about is not the only money, that's just the beginning. So I want you to really know what you want to spend the money for, because if you do not know it, then you're going to drag the rest of the people who have big dreams behind. So think about your dream, think about what you want to do, think about what you could do to have this dream achieved, and then compare to what you have here working on this great team. So this slide tells you you're going to make up to 1,665 Ethereum. I did the calculations. By the time we're done, you're going to find it's actually more. Also talking about approximately $3,000 as of 7th February price of Ethereum. As we talk now, by the time we finish the presentation, we're going to calculate how much worth it is in today's rate of the dollar. It should be close to $400,000, by the way. So you need 1.6 Ethereum to register and be part of this very powerful project that is going to change lots of lives very fast. The key word here is changing of lots of lives very fast. It is not slow, it's fast. 1.6 Ethereum today is about $400. I think the first time I had Bilka talk about this project, the cost of joining was about $180. It keeps increasing every day. So people who would like to come to this project will pay more money to join. And even as we get to start, today we could pay $400, tomorrow we could pay $380 if the price goes slightly down. But most likely the price of Ethereum is going to continue going up, and people will pay $450 or $500. So if you're ready, I think you should buy Ethereum into your wallet and be set, ready to register when they announce that registration is starting. So when you pay, I want you to get this very well. When you pay, this is, okay, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is you down here. All these arrows are coming from you. The dot below, the very last dot here you're seeing is you. And so when you pay, money goes upwards. 0.03 Ethereum, 0.05 Ethereum, 0.1 Ethereum, 0.4 Ethereum, and 1 Ethereum. When you add all this up, it is 1.58 Ethereum. And that's why we say look for 1.6 Ethereum, because if we add some small fees into these payments, then the 1.58 will need just a slight top up. So get 1.6 Ethereum, and it will, when you make your payments as you register, these 5 different recipients will get little amounts deposited directly into their wallets. That's very important to know, that there is no company behind this project that is, or third party that is trying to keep the money and then pay people. No. When you pay, the power of the blockchain, when you pay, money goes straight to recipients' accounts. So if you are a recipient, you're going to see money immediately as soon as somebody is paying. That is very, very important. So after paying, you will be part of the crowd. This is how the team has made the process, okay? And that is how the whole system runs. The whole system runs that when you a member here, you start growing a crowd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, up to 62 people in your crowd. So everybody here will need 62 people in their crowd to have all the money we're talking about. The first set of payments, which will be the first 5 payments we have just seen moving up, will come to you. And then the next phase is a repeat of the first set of payments. The same number of people here, 62, will pay again, but this time they're not going to pay from their pockets, they're going to be paying from their earnings. So after paying, you're going to be part of this international crowd. And yours will be like this. This is you. You will have one person coming in, the second person coming in, the third person. You'll just see them coming in. Now, the team has told me that everybody must bring 2 partners, okay? Find yourself 2 partners whom you want to build your dreams with. You want to build a house, whom do you want to stay with? Or who are your friends that will be happy for you? Who are your friends that you also want them to build their houses? You want to buy a car? Who is your friend that you know they are interested in building a school like Stuart? Or who is your friend that you know they want to start a business but they need funding? So the only thing you have to do is to tell them about this project, They're not going to go and search for it online. There is no website for them to register. There is no link. This is not network marketing. They're going to come to the team leaders, the coordinators, to give them a go-ahead to come into the project. Nobody's going to just come in just like that. No, somebody has to invite them and the team has to approve them. So the team of leaders, I was told that all of us here are going to be 64. So this is a group of 62. These are 62. This is a group of 62 leaders, okay? The first, this we are seeing here is going to be a group of 62 leaders. I hope you guys are the leaders. And now you leaders are going to always approve new people who are coming in. So if somebody says, I have 2 people, you're going to teach them. After teaching them, you say, yes, your 2 friends can now be part of this project. So guys, do not think that you're going to just market anyhow and bring people. This is not about marketing. This is about teaching and duplication. You're going to learn, and then you're going to teach people. You bring them to this crowd of leaders, and they will say, yes, let's have these guys come in and be part of us. Because there is a dream here. The leaders want everybody to make this money every 100 days. And more so, the people are going to make more than this, because the team has said they allow people to have multiple accounts. As long as they approve you to have multiple accounts, you can have them. So it means that you can have a lot of money very fast. So after making your payments, you're going to be put in this crowd. You'll get a number, and then more people will be coming into the system. You'll be seeing them in your crowd. I hope that is fine. Okay, so when people come in, you're going to start receiving funds. There are people who come in on the first level. Number 1 and number 2 are in the first level, and you're going to get 0.03 Ethereum. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6 are on your second level. You're going to get 0.5 Ethereum from them. Immediately they join, you're going to get the money. Number 7 up to 14 are on your third level. You're going to get 0.1 Ethereum from them. As soon as they start registering, you see a person coming in there in your crowd, then you see the money, 0.1 Ethereum. Then the fourth level has number 15 to number 30. So your crowd, when you see number 15 has started coming in, then you're receiving 0.4 Ethereum from each one of them on this level. And then lastly, you're going to have number 31 to number 62 in your crowd paying you 1 Ethereum each. Guys, this will give you a lot of money, because just look at this point. This is 1 Ethereum times 32 people. All this line is 32 people. This whole total is going to be about 39 Ethereum. Let's calculate that, guys. If you know the price of Ethereum today, you can just run to Google and say Ethereum, 39 Ethereum. Let's see, how much money is that? 39 Ethereum, 39 Ethereum. As of today. So as soon as your crowd is built, you're going to receive $9,600. Phase 1, okay? Now, phase 2, these same crowd members are going to pay more money. Now they got 39 Ethereum, but there are 5 more levels. Level 7, level 8, level 9, level 10. These are the same guys, but they are now paying another amount, which they have picked from their earnings. So guys, when you start earning money, when you see 2.5 Ethereum, then you should pay for your level 6. When you see 5 Ethereum, pay for level 7. You see 10 Ethereum, pay for level 8. When you see 20 Ethereum, pay for level 9. And when you see 40 Ethereum, pay for level 10. Because if you do not pay for a level and people are sending funds for that level, you will not receive that money. It will skip you and go to other guys who have paid for those levels. So it is very important for you to pay for all the levels. The first ones, you're going to pay them by force as you enter the crowd, but the remaining 5 levels, 6 up to 10, are going to be by you choosing to pay as soon as you see the money. Guys, be smart. If you want to earn all the money, then pay for all the levels as you start getting funds into your account. So we said the first 2 people you have now are going to be paying you 2.5 Ethereum, which is 5 Ethereum in total. The next level, we said, has 4 people. You remember them. We already built the crowd. So right now, you're only receiving money. $10, no, that will be $5. Okay, yeah, 5 Ethereum from each of them. There are 4, that is 20 Ethereum in total. The next level has 8 people. That was your level 3 with 8 people. Now you're going to be receiving 10 Ethereum from each times 8. That should give you 80 Ethereum. The next level, which is level 9, you're receiving 20 Ethereum per person. There are 16. This is your level 4 people you had, but now they are paying for their level 9. So there are 16 of them, that is 320 Ethereum. Your level 5 people we saw were 32. They are now paying for their level 10, and each one of them is paying 40 Ethereum. As they pay 40 Ethereum times 32, that is 1,280. Guys, add all this up from when you started receiving. Add all this up, is going to give you a total of 1,725. Now you saw another figure, 1,665. That was excluding the amounts people are paying, because in the original system, people pay only $8, so they always earn and pay, earn and pay. So it means that all the money you're receiving, because as soon as you come in here, you have paid for all the levels, so you have to receive all the money. So if you receive all the money up to the 10th generation, it's going to be 1,725 Ethereum. As of the time when they were making this presentation, that was $375,000, a lot of money. But today, let me tell you the price of Ethereum. I mean, let's see, according to the price of Ethereum, 1,725 today, let's see how much money that would be. Guys, this would be $439,000 as of today. As the price of Ethereum goes up, guys, you're receiving more value. So guys, get into this very fast, get the earnings, keep Ethereum. It's going to even go $1 million. As you're watching, just what you earn from this system is going to go to $1 million as you're watching, because it started when it was, I think by the time they were talking about it, it was about $200,000. Isn't that the truth, Mr. Al Dixon?
That's right. That's right.
It was $200,000 just a few weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago. But because the price of Ethereum is going up, now we're talking about $430,000. Same earnings in Ethereum, but higher value. That also reminds us the amount of money to pay to register is going to keep rising. So if you have friends, you want them to register into this, let them register as soon as possible. Do not delay them. So that's it, guys. There are some recommendations here and comments. Learn from experts on the team and follow their lead. You're going to find that most people, when they hear about this, they want to go and ask people around town. People in your town do not know about crowdfunding. People in your town do not know about the bill which turned into a law, which was signed by Barack Obama about crowdfunding. They don't know about it. It is this team that has great team leaders like Mr. Al Dixon, there's Veronica, there's Kyra, there are a lot of you now who are learning. I have not been able to know most of you, but I'm going to follow up and I get to know all of you. Guys who are learning are the ones who are experts. They are the ones who have the knowledge and answers to these things. So do not go and ask people in your town about this system. They do not know it. That's why they are not having this money yet. So learn from experts on this team and follow what they say. I am very sure they have goodwill. They know what they're doing. They're going to lead you to success. This system is based on a smart contract, and your crowd will automatically increase in number as long as you come with your 2 partners and you receive your funding level by level. You have seen how the levels are and how your earnings come in or your funds. So be patient to make sure that your crowd is full. Your crowd will need 62 people. So as soon as you come in, as long as you bring your 2 partners, the system is automatic. It will be pressing people into your crowd, not the ones you brought, by the way. Don't say the people you brought are the ones who are going to be in your crowd. No. And don't get scared and think that maybe if you don't get more than 2 people, what will happen? As long as you bring your 2 partners, just know that the rest of it is going to work very well. If you're good and you have lots of friends who are going to enjoy this, bring them. Bring as many people as you can, because a lot of people are suffering out there. They have big dreams. They don't know how to get started. They want to buy cars. They don't know how to get started. $400 may not buy a dream car, a dream house for most of us. But $400 turned into $400,000 will buy more than we can imagine. So how big is your dream, and how prepared are you to work for it? How prepared are you to make it happen? I'll see you on the next Zoom call. Thank you for being here today. And that is what I could share with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Stuart, so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, guys, I just want to tell you, you know, we got a video that we're going to put in one of our groups about fractional reserve banking. When I found out about fractional reserve banking, Stuart just gave you an example of how we, the people in the crowd, can leverage our money, just like the banks. Where you make the money and the bank leverages your money to 3,333, it's ridiculous. The last thing I'm going to tell you is this: the power's in the crowd. The question is, how much of that 300 billion do you want to receive? As we enter into the new digital revolution, where we have moved from an industrialized revolution, the power of your cell phone now is like a supercomputer. It's literally like a supercomputer. And you have the ability to take your phone wherever you go and make this money. Stuart and I started this journey many years ago when Bitcoin was only $600 a coin. Today, when I looked, Bitcoin was at 10,300 a coin. When we started our journey years ago, as we began to see Bitcoin go from 600, it increased over 20,000 a coin. If you Google the price of Bitcoin today, you will see that there's over 10,000. Ethereum is getting new features, new properties on their blockchain that's going to force it to grow. Ethereum 2.0 that's coming, you will be able to stake your coins. That's coming very soon. In order to stake your coins in Ethereum 2.0, you got to have at least 32 Ethereum coins to stake it. This program is going to produce you and provide you with 1,662 coins. Ethereum is the Microsoft Windows of blockchain. And you have an opportunity to position yourself through this system, the smart contract system, to get free in 2020. I want to thank everybody for coming on. I'm going to make this video available so that you can study. All I can tell you is, do you bring your two and help your two bring their two. Get in. For those of you who can't start at the higher levels, continue to build your crowd of 62. Fast forward to level 5 and join us as we use the new strategy to keep the money moving. Fast forward. When you get your 2, don't stop. Continue to help your 2 get their 2. I brought in many people, close to probably 100 by now, helping people to get their 2. Don't stop because you get your 2. Continue to leverage, help your 2 to get to. In a perfect world, one of the uplines, Mark Hamlin, he showed me 2 examples. He showed me an example where he had 700 people in one of his downlines with one position. And on his other downline, we had 1,500 people. Because on the one we had 1,500 people, he made less money. On the one where he had less people, which is about 700 people, he made more money. Why? Because everybody helped to get 2, helped to get 2. And as you build down each level, with everybody having 2, who get 2, who get 2, who get 2, the money begins to move because people can upgrade upgrade, upgrade, because the money is there. We want to make sure we continue to use our link to help others get there too, so we can build it perfectly, so people can upgrade as it moves up, and you will receive more money than you ever seen before. There's a lot of bonuses waiting for you, but we need you to get money in your hand. Trust me. Stu and I have dedicated our lives out in the field teaching about Bitcoin, blockchain technology that's really the fintech project, the financial technology programs that's getting ready to revolutionize the world. They're not coming, they are already here. I'm gonna say it again. They're not coming, they are already here. And as you hear Barack Obama state, there will be someone like Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, or Bill Gates that will come up with a program or a platform that will change people's lives in the crowdfunding industry. And guys, you're witnessing that right here. So I'm gonna close. Do we have any more leaders on that want to speak? If you do, unmute yourself. If you're a leader, okay, unmute yourself. I'll let you speak. I don't know if Dilka is available, but if she's not, we're gonna close out. We will be alerting you when we have our next Zoom. I'm available to get it done at the same time each day. I'm gonna make myself available as much as possible. The number one thing right now is for me to compile this video and to get this video back to Stewart as soon as possible. I love you. I can't wait to come to your nation. There's land in Uganda waiting for me. And this program will allow me to capture it and to come and begin my new journey on that side. So I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Have a lovely day. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.